Welcome, beloved. I want to talk about sowing and reaping. I know I've talked about this several times. I've done several videos, but the Lord is really stressing this over and over and over and over again. That whatever you don't want to be sown in your own life, or whatever you don't want to reap, don't sow it. What about your words, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, the feelings, the desires you have in your heart? If you don't want to reap that, please don't harbor that or release that over anyone's life, because the season of sowing and reaping is accelerating speedily. Like you can sow something today, in the morning, by sunset you will reap it. So sowing and reaping, I know those greedy, hungry, money-loving pastors have turned sowing and reaping to be only about money. No. What you sow with your time, your energy, your thoughts, your words, your emotion, your desires, whatever you sow, whatever you do with them, you will reap it. So you cannot walk around with harboring anger and bitterness and strife in your heart against or towards someone and expect to reap love and blessing. Then you, in your heart is dark and you are angry and you are bitter. There's nothing. If God split your heart open and put on the jumbo screen for the whole world to see, you will be embarrassed and ashamed. So will God. So make sure, if God could split your heart open and put on this jumbo screen for the whole world to see, make sure it's something pleasant. Because that person may not see your heart, but God sees your heart. He sees it. What's in your heart and your emotions and your thoughts is just as loud as your words in heaven. On earth, we can hear your words. But in heaven, they hear your thoughts. They hear your emotions. They hear your desires. As loud as your voice is heard on earth, it's as loud as your emotions, your thoughts, and your desires is heard in heaven. So it's not a secret to God. It's not a secret to angels. So beloved, whatever we don't want to reap in this season in our own lives, may we not sow it in the lives of others by our action, by our words, by our thoughts, by our emotions, our desire. That means we have to walk around every day to live a pure heart, to live a life where we constantly have a pure heart, pure motives, pure desires, pure intentions towards God and all men. I repeat, we have to live a life that we have pure, that when we stand before God every day, we are found blameless and innocent of great transgressions. Gone are the days that you will harbor anger, bitterness, and strife, and all these, negative and ungodly emotions and thoughts. You keep that, you harboring that, you keep that inside of you. Then you get on your knees and you say you praying and you fasting and you want God to answer your prayers. Those days are over. God expects us to grow up and to grow up now. He's not going to baby us anymore. One thing, if you are struggling in that area, then take it to God. The same way you can fast and pray for God to bless you, or some of you can pray and fast for God for your enemies to die. Hello? Why don't you begin to fast and pray and say, God, I want to live a holy and righteous life pleasing unto you. Why don't you take a fast on that? Whether it's 3 days or 1 day or 4 days, why don't you fast and pray and say, God, I'm struggling with anger. I'm struggling with bitterness. I'm struggling with pride. I'm struggling with lust. I'm struggling in these areas. So I'm going to fast and pray and ask you to help me in my struggle and break it. I'm going to fast and ask you, Lord, to help me and strengthen me in the areas of my greatest weakness. These are the areas of my weakness. List it down, mention it down, write it to God, and take a fast and say, God, I want you to break these things off of me, or it will destroy me. Destroy this thing out of me, or it will break me. But most of you just fast and pray because you want things. It's time for you to fast and pray because you want to be like God. It's time for you to take a fast and the praying session, begin to fast and pray because it's time for your nature and your attribute to be conforming to the image of the God who made you. All the time you fast and you want this, you want that. I'm not saying it's bad to fast for things from time to time. But now, have you ever sat down to fast and pray so your nature can be conforming to the image of God? When last you took a fast, whether for 1 day or for 40 days? That, Father, I'm fasting for this length of time because I want my nature to be like yours. I want to take on the nature and the attributes of the God who made me. I'm fasting because I want God to live great in me and live great through me. Let men know God raised me up. I'm fasting for this season because I want God to live great in me and live great through me so others can see my life and know that God exists. Or you just be fasting all day for things. I want this, I want healing, I want this. And I'm not saying it's bad to fast from time to time to get some breakthroughs in our lives. I'm not saying that is wrong. But if that's always and only the focus of your fast, then you have to also begin to check your heart and your own relationship with God. Is it only there to always do things for you? When you're going to learn to fast and pray and ask to know God? Because sometimes when you fast and pray and you get to know God, and you take on his nature and his attributes, those things you are fasting and praying for, you don't even have to fast and pray for it. You will know how to do it because now you are manifesting God in the flesh. Isn't it? Are we not sons of God? Can an eagle give birth to a chicken? Can a dog give birth to a cat? No. An eagle gave birth to an eaglet that becomes an eagle, right? A chicken gave birth to a chicken. A lion gave birth to a lion. So God must give birth to, hello, men? Come on now, fill in the blank. Have I not said ye are gods? If we are made in the image and likeness of God, what does that make us? Wimps? Chickens? Men? Mere men? No. So please, let me advise you, this season, take a fast. And let your fast this time be focused on asking God to work on the part of your nature, the part of your attributes that contends with righteousness. Take a fast and ask the Lord to begin to deal with the struggles and the stronghold, the part of your personality, your nature, your attributes that doesn't make God happy and proud. You don't want God to look down and regret that he made you. So it's time for us to take a fast and say, Lord, search my heart. Lord, search my soul. Search me. Is there any part of my nature, my personality, my characteristic, or my attributes that you don't like? Is there any part of me that doesn't bring glory to you? I want you to deal with my... now, if you are honest. If you don't want to be honest with yourself and with God, then just fast. He will begin to reveal those things to you. And then ask him, help me, Lord. Help me in my struggles. Help me in my weakness. I don't even know how God... I was talking about sowing and reaping. But I guess they all kind of combine together. So, beloved, whatever you don't want to reap in this season in your own life, please do not sow it in anybody else's life. My name is Dagnet. I'm your prayer drill sergeant, and I salute you. Join us Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard USA time. My phone numbers and email and mailing address will be on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you contact us. Make sure you join us live. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for inviting. And I appreciate you. Those who agree, I appreciate you. Those who don't agree, I appreciate you. Those who click the thumbs up, I appreciate you. Those who click the thumbs down, I appreciate you. It's time for us to be like God. He loved the homosexual. He loved the Christians. He don't agree with one person's behavior, but he loved them both. How do I know? They go to bed at night. They wake up in the morning. Knowing full well God, because he knows the beginning from the end. He knowing full well that the homosexual and the witches, they will go to bed tonight and they will wake up in the morning and they will continue that same lifestyle. But he still loves them. His mercy and his grace is still new and fresh. He caused the sun to rise on them and the rain to fall upon them. So guess what? That's what I'm trying to say. You click the thumbs up, I love you. You click the thumbs down, I love you. God loved the homosexual, he loved the Christian. Isn't it? Or he loved the homosexual, he loved the Christian. He loved the witches, he loved the pastors. Hello. And he caused his sun to rise and to shine on both the good and the evil because he's a merciful and gracious God. It's time for us to take on his nature and his attributes. You hate me, I love you. You love me, I love you. You don't like the sound of my voice, I love you. You love the sound of my voice, I love you. It's time for us to be like God, not to be irritated, agitated, and annoyed by every simple little things. Those days are over. I'm too over that anyway. God bless you. I appreciate it. I love you. Thank you.